Hi, I'm Amy and I'm a Brookshire's contributor. Today I'm here to make turkey and white bean chili with you from the October issue of the Celebrate Cooking magazine. This is one of my favorite recipes from my childhood and I look forward to making it with you. So come to the kitchen with me and we'll get started. Turkey and white bean chili is one of my favorite fall recipes. I grew up having chili this style and was actually surprised when I moved to Texas and chili was a whole different ballgame. This chili has a lot of vegetables in it, and I'm going to start by chopping my carrots. You want to use 3 or 4 large carrots, or about 1.5 cups total. I'm adding a jalapeno pepper to the chili, and you can use 1 or 2 depending on how hot you like it. My family doesn't like it all that spicy because I'm serving it to small children, so I remove the seeds and pith from my jalapeno. Basically, I just slice it into 4s, and it's a quick and easy way to remove the seeds and the pith, which is where the heat of the jalapeno pepper comes from, and I just remove it and dice the flesh of the jalapeno. And now that we've sliced the carrot and the jalapeno, let's move on to the onion. The recipe as written actually calls for 2 medium-sized onions, but I bought a large one because they're beautifully in season right now, and we can just use 1 instead of 2. Of course, you want to take off the tough outer skin of the onion. I take off the first layer too underneath. I don't do a real fine dice on the onion either. Fresh garlic adds so much to a dish. A lot of my friends are a little afraid to use fresh garlic because it can look fairly intimidating. But the great thing about garlic is, besides imparting a lot of flavor to chili, you don't need any fancy equipment to chop it finely at home. You just want to peel a whole bulb, break apart the cloves. You want to take your large chef's knife, place your garlic flat on the cutting board, and crush it. And the peel comes right off. Then you should be able to finely mince your garlic. I don't like big chunks of garlic. It's probably the only thing that I really work on a fine dice with. I'm using ground turkey in this chili. It's 93% lean, and it makes for a slightly healthier version than your all beef chilies. I'm putting it in a skillet without any oil or extra added fat, and I'm going to break it up with a wooden spoon. You want to make sure the turkey is cooked all the way through when you add it to your vegetables. I finished browning and crumbling the turkey, and I'm going to let this sit here for a minute. I'm going to start sauteing my vegetables. Add about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and you're going to let that heat up for just a minute. I'm going to start by adding the onion, the carrot, and the jalapeno. Those will take the longest to saute. You don't want to add the garlic immediately because garlic, when it gets overcooked, has a little scorched taste to it. It gets a little bitter. And you want to saute the vegetables until the carrots just start to soften and the onion becomes translucent. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes at high heat. I have my vegetables nicely sauteed, the onions are translucent and giving off their juices, and the carrots are beginning to soften. So now it's time to add my garlic. We're going to heat this through for about 30 seconds. Keep in mind, all your vegetables will continue to cook once your chili is simmering. Now I'm going to add the ground turkey, which is ready to go. I have the ground turkey and the vegetables cooking over medium-high heat. You want to keep the heat high for right now. It will go down to simmer after you incorporate all the ingredients. I'm going to add a 28-ounce can of whole tomatoes. After you add the whole tomatoes, you want to break them up with a spoon. Once your whole tomatoes are kind of chopped up and incorporated into the turkey and vegetable mixture, you can start to add your other ingredients. I have about 1.5 cups of yellow corn. Add a 8-ounce can of tomato sauce and 3 cans of cannellini beans. Cannellini beans are from Italy, and they're also known as Great Northern beans. You want to drain these and rinse them before you add them to the chili. I don't rinse them all that well because the juice in the can helps thicken the chili a little bit. After all the vegetables and other ingredients are added, it's time to add your broth. You can use beef broth or a beef stock. I like to splurge a little bit on the beef stock because it's so much richer and imparts a really hearty, robust flavor. You're still cooking over medium to high heat here because in a minute you're going to want to bring this all to a boil. You really only need 2 cups, which is about half this 32-ounce carton. You stir that all together, and then it's time to add your spices. I use 2 bay leaves. Now don't forget to take these out before you serve it, because if you bite into a bay leaf, it's going to totally ruin the flavor of the chili. 2 bay leaves, a little bit of cumin, some oregano, and then just a hint of chili powder. And stir that all in. I have the chili on the stove. I brought it up to high heat to a rolling boil. Then I covered it and turned it down to low. It will simmer for about an hour on the stove. This is also a great recipe to make in the crock pot because it can cook all day and be ready when you get home from work. I like making it after church on Sundays because then it's ready for football on Sunday afternoon. You can find this recipe in October's Celebrate Cooking magazine or online at brookshires.com, where you can find hundreds of other great fall recipes.